Yeah, thanks everyone for coming. Let's play a trivia. I'll give you one date and you tell me what that reminds you. Right? October 20, 2025. Anyone, any guesses? Yeah, so I don't want to remind that, get that memories for AWS or ours as always, but that was US East 1 region-wide outage. And that sent shockwaves to my client meetings that day, I remember. So that's the reason I chose this topic. So yeah, so imagine this, right? This is the operational dashboard which we all want to see, right? Everything is green, right? It's 2:59 a.m. Like you can see monitoring all good, like AWS region is up. Everybody can tell me that is not the metrics like AWS region, but you get the point, right? And everything looks healthy until it isn't. Payments are failing, contact centers are buzzing, and operational dashboard is a nightmare now. And that is at 3 a.m. It takes a minute to worst thing to happen. Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Girish Mukim. I'm AWS architect at IBM, and this use case I have implemented with one of our leading banking client in Canada. So yeah, I'll talk about multi-region resiliency on AWS, and specifically we'll use ARC service. I'll talk about that a bit more. Yeah, things can go wrong. It can be at any layer. Right? I'm talking about multi-region resiliency, but like we have to plan when it talks about resiliency in multiple layers. Like it could be infrastructure, it could be application, it could be data, or it even could be human, right? And this is a big one. Like whatever documents you write, you make sure your playbooks and runbooks are proper. Still, you cannot completely rule out human errors. And we need to have a technical guardrails to ensure we are covered. And that's the point. Right? And outages can cost you more than just a minute. Right? It is direct impact to your revenue loss. It like a user don't remember uptime. That is a stable state. That is a like expected outcome. But they remember once when things didn't work as expected. And nowadays resiliency is becoming a regulatory requirement. I'm working in FSS, and this is a big thing to have resiliency for our environment. Right? And one thing which often trip us is AZ redundancy. It's not equal to multi-region, right? And I have a demo, so I'm just rushing through this for make sure I get to the demo. But yeah, so and BCP is competitive advantage. You want and your customer, like for your customer to operate when your competitors are still recovering. That's the key. So does multi-region solve everything? It definitely not, right? It doesn't solve for bad deployment. If you have a single code base, you are like deployed in both the regions, it's not going to solve for you. Shared dependency, again, it doesn't help you there. Data corruption, if you are like replicating your corrupted data from one region to another, obviously multi-region is not helping us there. But definitely it does help for region level outages, large scale infrastructure failures, and gives you geographical isolation. So we are going to talk about multi-region a little bit more. And this like application recovery service is a like service from AWS which is catering to the exact same use case for region level recovery. It does have two capabilities: AZ recovery as well as multi-region recovery. We are referring to the later one. I'll not go through all this. I'm sure when you get the use case, you will go deep dive and understand it. I just want to make sure you understand that there is a very good service on like doing region level recoveries using application recovery services. Right? It has like zonal auto shift. It has multi-region auto shift. You can control manually. How we are doing is we have a decision to invoke BCP as a manual decision, and then we have technical automation to actually do the failover. Right? And why ARC exists in the first place? During outages, we want to make sure our recovery procedure is simplified to avoid getting into other like issues during the recovery itself. So it has to be simplified, and that ARC provides. It maintains a high availability for the application. It validates recovery readiness, and this is the beauty of it, right? You have a readiness checks, which is almost you can think like Route 53 health checks. It provides you that, so always you are ensuring your other agent is like other region is available. So that is a validation, and then it prevents unsafe recovery actions. So what does that mean? I'll give you one example. See, like there is like you can switch between this region. There is a toggle. It is a simple toggle, but you can do both the regions off by mistake. right? That's when the guardrails comes into picture. There are other guardrails you can put in place, but just to introduce what is the guardrails, this is a good scenario where you want to make sure at least one region is available. So high-level architecture, this slide, I want to just make a point like where ARC actually sits. It doesn't sit into your application layer. You need to have your application deployed before you run ARC stack. It doesn't replace Route 53. It is just integration with Route 53 to make sure these routing decisions are made. And this is like one thing you want to take away from this presentation is this, right? Routing control is giving you a control of like shifting the traffic between the region. Confidence is coming from readiness checks, and like safety coming from safety rules, which prevents unsafe actions. So I'll call it control, confidence, safety when it comes to ARC, and that's the like what promise ARC brings. So I'll run with the demo. I'll just do a little differently. I have a recorded demo, and let's see how it goes, because I'm not sure how audios will play. And I have this stack already deployed in both the regions with global table replication happening at data layer, and I'll start it now. Yeah, so first I'll just switch over. Like currently it's in US is the primary. I'll just switch over, and this you can do it from console as well. But just to make it easy for us to understand, I just did it through the dashboard. So let's look at how ARC components are working here. First, like we'll create a cluster, which is like first, like it is a logical cluster you can think of. And then this is a control plane. You can use the default control plane, or you can create your own. And this is the 5 endpoints you are getting. So that is a redundancy in itself in ARC control plane. So you can create, and all your components will be tied to this. So you have like 2 routing controls. One is for primary and secondary. So like you can just create that, and you associate that to the cluster, what you are dealing with. Yeah, so it's just creating, and the health check is the important stuff, like it's a primary and secondary health checks you can create. And when you are I can show you a scenario where you can turn off both the regions and then how it behaves, right, without like routing controls. It just did like the change without having any guardrails there. So yeah, you can associate that with the Route 53. And like if you don't have it, you need to create Route 53. As I said, like it's an integration with RF, Route 53. You just need to like make sure they are associating the current health checks with the correct regions. And now I'm turning off both the regions, and this is the beauty of safety rules, what I just told you about, right? If I do turn off both, it does allow me to do that, and that is not good. If I say change routing control, it is doing it, right? It's like you are completely like causing the outage to your application yourself. So that's the reason you should have safety rules. Without safety rules, this solution is not going to work as expected. So now what I'm saying is at least one region should be up at the all time. So let's see how the behavior changes when we put this routing like a safety rule in place. So there are additional safety rules you can put, but just to demonstrate, I just put a simple one where I'm showing both the regions. One region should be off. So now if I try to switch off the other region, then it shouldn't allow me. Right? And that's the error you will get, and you will not be able to do that. So you need to do this, like now how you will change it, you need to change the same transaction, right? Make one region off and the other region on. It's a single one transaction. And you can do the exact same through UI, as well as like when we are doing it through scripting, you can do that. Yeah, so now, yeah, so that's it, right? I just want to show you like what ARC can do. There are a lot of other capabilities ARC bring. Whenever you are thinking tomorrow about cloud resiliency in AWS, think about ARC, whether that's solving your problem. So yeah, so these are like a few takeaways. Like one thing is like introducing ARC to you, and then making sure like recovery control has to be like designed. It should not be a guesswork, right? And that is like a big takeaway I can think of. And that is a learning which we are seeing in our customer as well. And resiliency must be tested. We used to have DR drills before. It's not changing in cloud as well, right? We should do DR drills when regularly. Yeah, so that's it. Like I'll just close my topic on this note. Like failure is inevitable. It is an accident. but resiliency has to be designed. And this is something we all have to prepare for before 3 a.m. occurs. Thank you.